You may be seated. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. To our physician assistant students and their loved ones, our dedicated faculty and staff, and the Distinguished Assistant Dean for Clinical and Student Affairs, Bernice Mills, welcome to the UNE Physician Assistant Class of 2024 White Coat Ceremony. This is truly a festive and joyous celebration for our program. These PA students who have worked so diligently for the past year have completed the didactic portion of the program and will be moving on to their clinical rotations where they will practice medicine on real live patients. We are very proud of the clinicians they have become and are excited to have them continue to hone their medical skills in the field. While we will miss seeing your faces every day on campus, we are always an email away if you need us. And now we will have Laura Grover, our program assistant, deliver the keynote on mindfulness. Laura.
Thank you. Welcome. My name is Laura Grover, and I've had the pleasure of working with these students in a variety of contexts this semester. As the program assistant, I almost always see the students in those in-between moments between other events, on their way to class, when they're beginning or ending a lab, just before an exam. In these in-between spaces, I have witnessed the students really nurturing their community. I see them affirming one another or using laughter to ease their nerves. I see them carpooling and making plans and sharing lunch. I see them borrowing one another's pens and stethoscopes and even their previous white coats and hoping nobody notices the names are different. Often, they even pause to include me, to tell me about their health or their stress or their travel plans or what is growing in their gardens. Of course, there are so many rigorous academic moments in this program, so many focused labs and exams and medical practice. But I find that in these smaller in-between moments, the ones right before the main event, there's some authentic magic happening. A particular kind of sweet and collective vulnerability and gratitude. And those are truly the main ingredients in community. We are at one of those in-between moments right now. It's a big one. And I think it's easy to always be living one step ahead, seeing hypothetical patients and mapping out your commutes. It's easy to move ahead and not focus on these moments of transition. When the students asked me to lead a small mindfulness opening for them, I was so grateful that they consider me someone who can ground them, but I also know that we all are grounding forces in their lives. I hope to draw your attention to this fact and to ground us all together here in this special in-between moment, to turn down the volume on what's next, and be tuned in and grateful for what is. So, I ask those who would like to join us in a little active mindfulness to place your feet on the floor. You can also stand if you would like. That might be more comfortable. If you feel a little nervous or uncomfortable because you don't know what's going to happen next, that's good. That means you're doing vulnerability right. And I promise this will only be a couple minutes. So close your eyes or gaze at the floor if you would rather. First, if you choose to, tense your shoulders. Bring your shoulders to your ears. Let them go. Notice the difference between when they were tight and when they were released. You can also sigh if that feels right. Now let's move down to our feet. If it is possible, notice where the ground meets your feet. If you can feel your feet touching the ground, ask yourself, what does the ground feel like against my feet? Feel your feet connecting with the ground, or imagine that they are connecting. Now, Let's imagine what's under the carpet and the floor. In fact, we all have vivid imaginations, so let's imagine there isn't a floor at all. Under our feet is just grass and moss and earth, and maybe there's some little wildflowers, or clover, or wintergreen. This land where we are sitting and standing right now, I want to acknowledge it is Wabanaki land, and let's imagine that it was what it was like before UNE was here, before the city was here. In this way, we can imagine that the land stretches out in every direction, lush and vibrant. As you imagine this outstretched land beneath your feet, don't lose sight in your mind's eye of the community around you. It isn't just you in an empty field. There are people all around you and an entire ecosystem here. So populate the green space of your mind's eye with the other humans in this room. Now go back to your feet. Imagine that your feet have started to grow roots out of them. Imagine that it feels really nice to grow the roots, like a deep stretch you really needed. And these roots are reaching out underground, and they are touching the roots of the others next to you. And the other people next to you also have roots growing outward, and those roots are reaching out and touching the roots of the others next to them. Can you see these webs of roots? And as you picture all these roots stretching outwards together, I want you, friends and family and educators, to imagine that you can follow your roots to the next person's roots and all the way to the class of 2024. Don't take the most direct route either. Wander around a little bit. And as you touch each set of roots to get to this class, offer a little nourishment to the people whose roots you are touching. Just a little thank you. Maybe those thank yous look like golden light coming from you to them, one person after another up to the class. And you, class of 2024, picture your roots reaching out towards a person or people you love in this room. Imagine where this person or people might be. The nourishment in your roots is also full of light, and this light is moving outward and following in a path out of you and through all the roots of those around you in order to make it to this special person or people. Because of this interconnecting, there is now light in everyone's roots. Zoom out and see everyone, yourself included, rooted and glowing. So now that we are all filled with light, let's begin to return to the room. Let's bring our minds back to this building on this campus in modern-day Portland at UNE. Wiggle your fingers and your toes. Feel the ground again under your feet. Move your shoulders one last time to your ears and release them. Maybe take a big breath. Open your eyes. Now we are present here together. It is easy to feel thankful for this absolute treasure of a class, and it is easy to be grateful for the others here who have also been a support to them. Here in this in-between place, before the next event, before rotations and new homes and new schedules and new learning opportunities, we pause here to be vulnerable with one another, to see ourselves as part of this shared community. I want you in particular, class of 2024, to remember the people who love and support you in these in-between places and reach out to them each time you cross a new threshold. May you always feel them rooted and reaching back. Thank you. I'm going to hand over the mic to Assistant Dean for Clinical Student Affairs, Bernice Mills. And give her a hand, please.
Thank you, Laura. On behalf of the Westbrook College of Health Professions Dean's Office, I want to congratulate you on your achievement. Receiving your white coat today is the culmination of years of hard work, determination, and I suspect a tear or two. The white coat you are about to receive is a symbol that you have met the educational requirements to move forward into the clinical component of your education. To the patients that you will serve, when you walk into their room, you will see them at their most vulnerable, and they will put their trust in you to provide them with quality health care, compassion, and respect. This is a privilege that must be honored. Arriving at this time and place has been a journey for you and those that helped you along the way. Congratulations to everyone who has supported these exceptional students. To the students, my sincerest congratulations. I wish you all the best as you enter the next phase of your education and move closer to achieving your goal of becoming a physician assistant. Thank you. And now it is my pleasure to introduce Professor Thomas White.
Welcome to the White Coat Ceremony for the University of New England Physician Assistant Class of 2024. Thank you for the opportunity to say a few words to your class and your guests today. It's a popular truism that it takes a whole village of people to accomplish a challenging task. So this is an auspicious day. Our whole village is right here. Students of the class of 2024, your loved ones in the audience, and program faculty and staff, all in one room at the same time. Unfortunately, this won't happen again for your class. Many of you will have one foot out the door by this time next year, as you're anxious to get on to your next professional adventure. So we should savor this day. I thought that I would say a few brief words about your first year experience and then offer some encouragement for your upcoming second year. So first and foremost, I think that some additional thank yous are in order. First, to the class of 2024, thank you for your invitation to speak today. Second, thank you also for the questions you've raised in pharmacology this year. Having spent a number of years as a PA, it helps to have you asking questions from a fresh perspective. I appreciate it and have learned a good deal again this year, researching your inquiries where your textbook doesn't provide an answer. You have also laid a good foundation for your future as PAs with your thoughtful approach to posing the questions that you've asked in pharmacology. Third, to the spouses, parents, grandparents, partners, children, and friends of the class of 2024, thank you for your support of this class through a very demanding year. But for your patience, your sacrifices, and your resilience, we would not have been able to get to this point today. The accomplishments of the class of 2024 are a direct reflection of the support that you have provided them over the past year. Congratulations to the class of 2024 on completing your first year of training. This has truly been a unique year. Recent snowstorms, which are not uncommon in Maine, power outages, which are also not uncommon here, but also a pandemic winding down in its fourth year that has stressed us all in multiple ways. Through all of these challenges, you have endured a very demanding schedule. In fact, did you realize that over the past 11 months, each of you have successfully completed 20 individual courses of study with 58 graded quizzes, 95 other graded assignments, 58 end-of-module exams, and 8 graded objective simulated clinical encounters, or OSCEs. I'll remember your class as the resilient class for your ability to persist in your academic achievements and at the same time preserve your sense of humor through it all. One thing that has struck me over the past years is that the classes faced with the greatest obstacles have also had the best learning outcomes. In your case, this has certainly been true, as your class has consistently risen to the unique challenges of the past 11 months. There is a truism that when we are challenged, we don't rise to the occasion as much as we fall back on our training. In the next year, you will have many opportunities to fall back on your first year's training and explore opportunities for additional learning in your clinical year. So congratulations on receiving your white coats. Your white coat signals that you are about to begin your full-time clinical training. It also memorializes your acceptance of the responsibility to provide safe and effective care to anyone and everyone who seeks it for the duration of your career as a PA. Formally accepting this responsibility is a major milestone in your professional career. For the next year especially, and for the rest of your careers, I encourage you to continue to ask responsible, thoughtful questions about people and their illnesses. I think that you'll also find it helpful to ask yourself 2 questions at the end of each day. First, what could I have done better today? Second, what will I focus on doing better tomorrow? If you will do that, I think you'll find the quality of your care in the next year and over your entire career will continuously grow, which will be very rewarding for both you and for the people you serve. Congratulations, and thank you again for the opportunity to say a few words today.
Hello. So my name's Sarah Patton, and I want to thank the class of 2024 for asking me to speak today. I'm truly honored to have taught each of you this year, and at the same time a little relieved and grateful that after seeing me in front of your class almost every week, that you still have some faith in me. Secondly, I want to congratulate all of you for the hard work that you've put in this year and leading up to PA school. Those long days of lectures and labs, OSCEs, practicals, checkoffs, hours of study, and endless tasks have put you closer to your goal of becoming a practicing physician assistant. As I have mentioned to you students previously, I relate PA school to my experience in parenting. The days can be long, sometimes really, really long, and the years are really, truly short. To those family members, friends, and loved ones, I also congratulate you and thank you for supporting these future PAs. I know that many of you have also sacrificed. You should be proud of yourself for being a support because these students could not do it without you. You have also helped these future healthcare workers get closer to their finish line. Now, let's talk about these white coats. While white coats have long been the attire of physicians and more recently physician assistants, the white coat ceremony was not established until 1993 at Columbia University by Dr. Arnold Gold and the Gold Foundation. Dr. Gold launched his foundation in 1988 in an effort to address what he saw as a diminishing lack of connection between clinicians and their patients. And this is before EMRs. According to Dr. Gold, a physician's responsibility is not only to take care of patients, but also to care for patients. Furthermore, the Gold Foundation emphasizes the practice of humanism in medicine. They define humanism in healthcare through these 3 elements: compassion, collaboration, and scientific excellence. Today, I wish to give you these pins in your white coat that you'll find in your pocket that are provided from the Gold Foundation. They simply say, keeping healthcare human. The gold Mobius loop symbolizes the continuous bond of trust, respect, and communication that connects you to your patient when humanism is at the core of your care. While I know each of you to be compassionate humans, I also know that long shifts, overbooked schedules, IT problems, prior authorizations, hours of charting, and being understaffed can make it easier to reach a level of compassion fatigue. I am hoping that this pin will remind you what a gift and responsibility you have as a physician assistant providing care to your community. Throughout your clinical year and beyond, you will likely be the one person who patients will rely upon. You will serve as the connection between your patient and the best outcome. In fact, you may be the one human who is there to help guide your patients during what may be one of their most vulnerable, frightening, and confusing experiences in their lifetime. Let this pin remind you that you have the power to make a positive difference in the lives of your patients every single day. Lastly, I want this pin to remind you that despite some of your superhuman feats in PA school, each of you are also only human. I think most of us know that healthcare workers are facing high levels of burnout right now. It's my belief that there's a multitude of reasons for this, some of which you will be tasked with solving as the next generation of healthcare providers. One of the solutions, I believe, is making sure that the same compassion and care that you give to your patients, you ensure that you give back to yourselves. That evidence-based advice that you give to your patients about exercise and stress relief and mindfulness and proper nutrition and family time, mental health, you need to take for yourself. I want you to treat your white coat with to envision your white coat as your cloak of protection. If your white coat is starting to show signs of wear and tear, as it undoubtedly will over the next year, please use this as a reference to check in on the wear and tear of yourselves. Please check in on yourselves, check in with each other, and take care of that white coat and thus yourselves. This is my last assignment that I give you, self-care. I want you to make it a priority because your future patients are counting on it. Thank you, good luck, and wear your sunscreen. And now for the coding.
Eric Anderson. Crystal Annis. Kafaya Bello. Aileen Berry. Emily Bowman. Christina Brooks. Elizabeth Bryden. Kathleen Burgoyne. Sophia Cardini. Sarah Carter. Stephen Kastrick. Timothy Corey. Diana Dearden. Nicole Downey. Claire Dudek. Jillian Flynn. Jennifer Fountain. Molly Gardner. Nicholas Goldsack, who is off getting married today. Gregory Griffin. Robin Luderitz. Michael Matassa. Caitlin Miles. Megan Morash. Aaron Murphy. Michael Mucci. Tyson Nadeau. Alexis Nason. Nathan Oakes. Gina Pardee. Andrew Petlock. Connor Phibbs. Kaylee Pope. Liam Prescott. Sydney Ricker. Dana Rodriguez Cruz. Ashley Roy. Emily Rush. Lily Russell. Courtney Santos. Nia Sheth. Joshua Smestad. Daniel Spicer. Rebecca Starr. Roy Taormina. Robert Waxman. Allison Zuber. Congratulations, all of you.
All right. Good afternoon. I'm Christopher Bates Withers. I'm a clinical assistant professor here in the PA program. At this time, I would like to ask the class of 2024 to rise for your physician assistant pledge. Please repeat after me. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor. Class of 2024, congratulations on completion of your didactic year. I wish you the best of success on your clinical rotations. It has been an honor to work with all of you. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce our class speaker, Eric Anderson.
Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be standing up here and addressing you after such an amazing group of speakers. For those of you who don't know, my name is Eric Anderson, and I am just as surprised to see me up here as you are. My plan is to entertain you for the next 3 minutes before slowly boring you to sleep for the 27 minutes I have planned after that. I think the faculty seated behind me right now is coming to the realization that they have given me a podium, a microphone, and a captivated audience. Someone has got to be wondering, how did this slip through the cracks? But don't worry, professors. I plan to keep this within PA school guidelines, which is why underneath everybody's chair, there are 3 exams, and then I'm going to lecture for 4 hours after that. You know, this has been a dream of mine for a long time. I remember sitting in the kitchen, talking to my mom, 8 years old. I said, Mom, one day I'll be standing in front of classmates and faculty addressing them at commencement. You're going to be valedictorian, she said. Even better. You're going to return to your alma mater and address them at commencement after winning 6 daytime Emmys. I said, even better. I'll be speaking at the UNE's class of 2024 white coat ceremony. She nearly wept. But in all seriousness, I want to address the class of 2024 after what was, for many, the most anxiety-causing, headache-inducing, and stressful period of their lives. I mean, for some, it was even a tiny bit more chaotic. I had the boys in the lab run the numbers, and we had proposals, 4 weddings, a few hair color changes, and a child born, all while we were trying to determine what the heck Professor Bates-Withers was talking about when he was showing you an echocardiogram. Right ventricle. Despite all of that, we are still here. Even through the adversity of being shut away in the windowless lecture room in the basement of the pharmacy building 8 hours a day, most of us were able to keep our sanity. Everyone here should be very proud of their work. There's a long list of people I'm about to thank, so strap in. There's so many people we would like to thank over their work this past year, and on behalf of the class, I would like to thank President Herbert, Dean Morton, Dean Handy, and our medical director, Dr. Griffin. Our adjunct professors, Dr. Rahman and Professor Lucier, for anatomy this summer. Apparently, what anatomy needed was Shireen frantically running around, writing on 8 different whiteboards, and reminding us she's not an artist. Well, Shireen, I'm here to tell you, you're not a singer either. I would like to thank Toby, Frank, Stephanie, Jay, Allison, and Sheila for all their help during seminar, and as well as keeping a straight face as we spewed some OCP word vomit at them week after week. I would like to thank Laura and Joe for keeping us grounded, and for some fun facts about mushrooms. Thank you to our clinical team, Professor White and Professor Blessington, reminding us that sometimes all we need. Thank you to Professor Bates-Withers for your guidance in seminar, as well as some mental pretzels in cardiology. Thank you, Professor Wall, for Clin Med, Thank you to Dr. Brown and all, although your time was short-lived, it was still an honor to have you here as our program director. And thank you to Professor Patton for your kind and welcoming presence, as well as your crazy weird obsession with dermatology. Rashes and furuncles and keratosis, oh my. Dr. Brown, Professor Patton, Professor Eisenhower will be moving on from UNE and is with, again, on behalf of the class, I would like to say thank you very much. It's also a point of pride for our class to say, you know what? You guys looked at us and were like, yeah, that's it, I'm good with UNE. I'm done. I would like to extend a very special thank you to Amy LaBelle. She is the glue that holds this program together. Amy was paramount in making sure that no detail was missed, from schedules to posting lectures and reminding us of those pesky surveys that we had to fill out each module. I don't even want to imagine what this year would have been like without Amy's Herculean efforts. And Amy, feel free to use that in any future negotiations that you have. And last but not least, I would like to extend a very special thank you to Dr. Vilmore, mostly for the high-quality memes during lecture, but also for stepping in as the interim program director role with already so much on your plate. All of your efforts have not gone unnoticed, and we all very much appreciate you. I want to leave you with some advice, something important to hold on to in this next year, and that's your why. Why did you start this in the first place? Why was this the career path that you chose? Everyone in this room has a why that pushes them forward. Because during long hours and time away from loved ones, you'll need to remind yourself of that why. On those days that you get back home for a long day and you think to yourself, why did I do this? You're going to have to remember why. Because in the end, it will be reality, and it'll all be worth it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Eric. That was lovely. Thank you, everyone, for celebrating our PA students' successes and their transition to their clinical year. I would love to give special thanks to all of our speakers today: Laura Grover, Assistant Dean Mills, Dr. White via Zoom, Professor Patton, who we will miss dearly, Professor Bates-Withers, and Eric Anderson. Thank you also to the PA faculty and staff for organizing this event, especially Amy LaBelle. Thank you. And finally, even though she could not be here today, Dean Jennifer Morton of the Westbrook College of Health Professions also wishes you the best of luck in your clinical year. The students will now take a class photo on this gorgeous day outside, and then will join us for refreshments and hors d'oeuvres in the next room. Congratulations, everyone.